Hello.
I think, Mikel, if this was last season and you were going to be without Pierre for a big game like this, there might have been a bit of panic. But it seems like now your attack has really transformed and become more rounded, particularly on this run. You know, Bukayo stepped up, Alex has stepped up. Do you feel the attack is more rounded this season compared to the reliance on Aubameyang last year?
Well, that's something that we had to improve and address dramatically. You want to have any chance of competing with the top teams in this league. Just to rely on one player, it's completely insufficient, and it won't be sustainable over time. But having said that, we know the importance of Auba and his goals and his contribution to the team. So the more we have in, for sure, the stronger we are as well.
And just one on Martin. I think with him coming in, everyone sort of thought this might be, Emile being sort of moved a bit out of the team. But do you see possibly going forward, there's a chance you could have Emile and Martin in the same team?
Yes, Emile and Martin, and Emile cannot play every single game as we knew the other day. For example, in the FA Cup, he was injured. He could not play the other day. He could only play certain minutes because he was struggling for the last minutes. It's been a massive step from him for what he was doing 3-4 months ago and what he's doing right now. So we need options. Of course, they can play together. And it's not about pushing somebody else. Emile has earned his right to play the way he's performing, and Martin has to earn that.
Thanks, Mikel.
Quick one on a developing story overnight with the COVID situation in Portugal. Understanding that, Liz, there may be issues that you have to go into quarantine after coming back from a tie in Portugal. Suggestion that if you don't play in Portugal, you may have to play the game over just one leg at a neutral venue. Would that be a reasonable solution for you if it gets the tie played?
I don't know. What is sure is that we have to find a solution. Whether it is finding a different way with the quarantine rules or playing in a different ground, I don't know what's the best one it is. There are things that are decided that are not in my hand at the moment. We want to play the games. We want to compete in Europe, and we have to find a solution to do that.
And talking now about Manchester United, it used to be the go-to fixture of every season back sort of 15 years ago. We'd be promised a punch-up and red cards and all sorts. That seems to have calmed in. You must have heard stories from Cesc Fabregas about throwing pizza at Sir Alex and all the rest of it. That seems to have calmed down a little bit in recent years. Is that a good thing, or is that a bit of a shame?
I think that has come down, but not only for the Arsenal-Manchester United picture. I think in general, you see the way the derbies used to get played, and it's not the same right now. The game is evolving. We are educating players in a different way as well, and things that before they were allowed, now for sure they are not allowed, and with VAR even less. So I think it's a different game to that time.
Do you think VAR has driven that kind of warrior figure out of football?
Well, you are much more controlled and policed, so you know that you're not going to get away with certain things that you get used to before. So it's the way the game is evolving. I think it's a natural thing.
But at the time, Arsenal and Manchester United were the best two teams in the country, probably without question. They seem to have that sort of tribal mentality, which led to those kind of bust-ups. Do you need a little bit of that still, even in this modern world, to be successful?
Yeah, you need that still. You need that passion, I would say, as well, to defend your position and to show how much you want to win. I think that's part of a winning mentality team, that's for sure. The thing is now that before there were those two teams that were the candidates to win the league. Now there is 6 teams or 7 teams every season that are capable of doing that. That's where the league is gone, and that's the difference of 10 years ago and now in this league.
Thanks, Matt.
So finally, on that point, is it up to a team now to show that they're that much? They want it that much more than the rest of their teams. Is it about desire when the teams are so evenly matched this season?
probably it was desire, it was how convinced they were that they were better than the other sides, and the facts says as well that squad-wise they were much stronger than any other teams in the league. They have the depth and the quality that other teams they could not get nowhere near them, and at the moment in this league is not happening.
Thanks, Matt. Nick Ames, Guardian.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
I think you said to us last week that having 31 players in your squad was unmanageable. I think we got that number down a bit now, even if like Martin and Matt have come in. Is it manageable now of a number, or do you need
well,
to?
It is much more manageable. Then the next thing that has to be right is the squad balance within the positions, within the qualities that you have within that squad and the positions that you select, and then obviously the characters and personalities within the team. That is what they create the values, what they create the chemistry, and what they create the culture of the club. And I have to say that I think we are going in the right direction.
Does it help the balance as well that maybe you've got fewer unhappy players around now? Because we've spoken a lot before about how players aren't happy when they're not playing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, more than unhappy is the players that they cannot get considered to play because some of them they weren't even named in the squad, or they are all the time left out of the squads every time you are traveling, and it makes it really difficult for them because you have to find the motivation somewhere, and that motivation comes when you see yourselves with the chance to contribute and play in the games. When that goes away for 1, 2, or 3 months, that is very difficult to maintain.
I was just thinking about the situation at Manchester United, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had quite a similar issue, really. He's come in, and maybe there were various players, we haven't got to name them, who were on big contracts or not in the team or needed moving out and that kind of thing. And maybe what we're seeing now is a smaller squad that is his. Can you see that similarity between what you inherited?
Well, I think every manager, when he comes in, depending where that team was and the succession plan that you are taking over from, it makes a huge impact. So then you will have more resources, less resources, more time, less time to deal what you want. But at the end, what you want to see is something that you have trust and belief that you have the tools to do your work and give yourselves the best possible chance to achieve the goals that you have set with the club.
Just a quick question on squad rotation. People criticised you on Saturday for rotating the squad and going out of the cup, but then we saw the benefit of that on Tuesday, obviously, when players came back and you won very well. Do you think people outside maybe need to understand a bit better that this is a crazy season, there's matches all the time, we've never seen something like this before, and that you are going to have to change things more than you would normally like?
No, I think these criticizes are based because you lose the football match. And then obviously you go and find the reasons why you do it, or you want to find the reasons why. Because we played at Anfield in the Carabao Cup and we made so many changes and we beat Liverpool. And then we went to Leicester and made a lot of changes and beat. We play in the Europa League and win 6 games with a completely different team, and everything was great. And those players then needed the chance to play in the Premier League. So I know I'm not going to please everybody. Only if you win. When you don't win, these things are going to come. But I make it really clear again. I don't know what I would have done on Saturday in the Cup if everybody was fit, but we didn't make 7 changes. Sure. We had 5 players that they could not play that game. That's to start with, and that's the only thing that I said before.
Sure. And
thanks, Nick. I've got to go. Thanks, everybody. See you Saturday.
Thank you.